Man, this movie was definitely not what I thought it would be. From drama, comedy, action, romance, and even a little bit of thriller. This movie has it all. Don't get me wrong, I have always enjoyed the Shrek franchise, but Puss in Boots: The Last Wish gives a whole new depth to the animated universe. Welcome to Real Savant, where we bring you the latest in movie recaps and reviews, breaking down the film for you and providing insightful commentary. Join us as we delve into the world of cinema and elevate your movie watching experience. Don't forget to like and share our videos. Also, subscribe to our channel to get notified when our latest review video is uploaded. 2011 was the first Puss in Boots movie that came to the big screen. The production for its sequel began right after the first movie's release. In 2014, it had been scheduled to release on November 2018, but was cancelled for further development and changes. Over the years, the anticipation for the movie seemed to have died down a little bit. I mean, 11 years is a long wait. But DreamWorks did not disappoint and gave its audience a brand new masterpiece that people of all ages will surely enjoy. So now, without further ado, sit back, grab your favorite snack, and together, let's get lost in the world of fairy tales with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Right off the bat, the movie shows us the legend in action. After awakening the sleeping giant of Del Mar with his extravagant party at the house of the governor and being caught by, well, the governor himself, to nobody's surprise, Puss defeated the giant without breaking any sweat. Only one small problem though. He may have died a little bit. Puss wakes up in an unknown place. He quickly learned that he was at the clinic of the town's doctor. When he was told what just happened, he only laughed, saying he has 9 lives. He quickly left after being warned about dying one more time. Turns out, he had died 8 times beforehand, and he's down to his last life. He decides to ridicule the doctor's prescription of retiring and heads straight to the bar for some drinks. There, as he was enjoying a glass of what seems like milk, he is approached by a bounty hunter. Puss tries to fight him, but the most unexpected turn of events await. His life flashed before his eyes, and that's when it dawned on him that he was indeed in his last life. He ended up running in fear and making his journey to the address the doctor gave him of an old lady who loved cats, hoping that's where he could stay safe and alive. Upon arrival, Puss buries his costume and says goodbye to his adventurous persona forever. He was immediately taken in by Mama Luna and renamed Pickles. There, he lived and behaved like a normal cat. It wasn't something he wanted, but then again, he had no choice. He had to live, even if he didn't feel alive at all. In his time at Mama Luna's, Puss, or should I say Pickles, meets a nameless dog who's posing as a cat for free food. Despite wanting to be left alone, the dog tails Puss and even identifies him as his best friend after being told his secret would be kept. In the quiet afternoon, Mama Luna's resident gets attacked by Goldie and the 3 bears. They were looking for Puss to hire him to steal the map from Big Jack Horner that would lead them to the wishing star that could grant one wish. Feeling all the rush come back to him, Puss asks Perrito the dog to dig his buried costume, and he hurriedly goes on his way to steal the map for himself and wish for his 9 lives back. Little did he know, Perrito was able to follow him all the way back to Jack Horner's house. Puss leaves the dog outside and sneaks in for himself. There, he crosses paths with an old friend, or an old girlfriend, if I might say. They tried to escape with it, but were caught by Horner when the bears came to steal it for themselves too. With the help of Perro driving the horse, Puss in Boots and his old girlfriend, Kitty Softpaws, were able to steal the map, escaping Goldie and Horner. The trio finally make their way to the dark forest after a long journey. They had to transport through a sketchy-looking wall, but when they got to the other side, it wasn't as horrifying as they believed it would be. Perro faints after seeing a short puppy eye contest from both Kitty and Puss. Each of them takes a look at the map to determine which path they would take, which turns out to be a different outcome for whoever holds the map. Puss and Kitty's path was dangerous and scary, while Perro's path was sweet and safe. Collectively, they decided that Perro could hold the map as long as they didn't cross anyone. Following the map, they head for pockets full of posies, and contrary to the rainbows and butterflies they believe it to be, the so-called garden is actually full of giant roses that attack the trio. But of course, Perro, being a gentle soul, finds out that they only have to smell the roses so the plants would let them through. Here we find out that Pero, believing that they were just playing hide and seek, was actually thrown into the river by his family to get rid of him. The sweater he was wearing was the sock he was put in. Behind them, the bears and Jack are trying to catch up. The trio gets through the river of relaxation only to be met by Horner and his remaining men. Goldie and the bears follow not long after. Kitty and Puss try to fight the bad guys, but unexpectedly, Puss hears a familiar song being whistled in the distance. It's the same song he heard before he ran away from Del Mar, the bounty hunter. Anxiety and fear rising, Puss left without hesitation. Pero immediately ran after him, knowing something was wrong. The next scene might just be my favorite part of the movie and really left tears forming in the corners of my eyes. The dog spotted Puss resting under a tree, breathing heavy with anxiety. Not knowing what to do, he did what he knows best, staying and being there for his friend. Earlier, it was revealed that Pero actually wanted to be a therapy dog. But honestly, I never really saw him fit the job description until this exact part right here. Puss started to calm down and decided to tell Pero what was going on with him, even revealing that he actually left Kitty at the altar back in the day and doesn't want her to know about this. Little did they know, Kitty was actually listening in the distance when Puss revealed to Perrito what happened in Santa Coloma. She pretends to hear nothing and calls out to them to continue their journey and get the map back. Meanwhile, Goldie and her family were brought back to their home by the map, or at least an illusion that looks and feels like home. Her family was evidently happy about this, but it could be seen that Goldie seemed to want something different. The trio finds the bear family and fights with them to get the map back. Seeing as the holder of the map changed, the obstacle also started to rearrange itself. Just as everything seemed to be going well for our three protagonists, the bear family took Perrito, and Puss and Kitty were separated by huge crystals emerging from the ground. Kitty goes off to save Pero from the arms of the enemy, while Puss is met with his 8 previous lives and realizes how alone he's been through all of them. Just as he was about to leave, Bounty Hunter meets him by the entrance, only to be revealed that he was actually Death all along, chasing Puss to take away his last life as he had no regards for the past 8. He was barely able to escape, but he kept running to the wishing star even when Kitty and Perrito called out to him. The bear family continued to look for the star. Baby and Goldie got into an argument when it revealed that the wish Goldie was actually going to make was to have a real, normal family. The hearts of the bears broke upon hearing this, but Mama Bear accepted it nonetheless, and they still decided to help Goldie get what she wanted. Horner sees the star light up from afar as well. We're just getting to the most exciting part. Hold on to your seats. Kitty was really disappointed with Puss, thinking that he only wanted to keep the wish to himself for selfish, petty reasons, and she made sure he knew about this. Puss tries to explain, but Kitty doesn't want to hear him out. And of course, who else would interrupt such a personal conversation? Well, no other than Jack Horner. And well, Goldie and the bears too. And the fight for the wish begins again. Just as Goldie was about to get her wish, Baby gets into trouble that might get rid of him for good. Will Goldie make the wish she's been looking for? Well, it turns out, no need for a wish after all. She chose the family that she knew. The cats fight Horner, and Kitty kicks him into the bottomless bag easily. And now, Puss was left with the wish. Before he could decide anything, Perrito tells him how his one life had become pretty special, being able to share it with his friends. This touched something in Puss. Death comes after him again. Before he knew it, his life flashed before his eyes again. But this time, it was his last life, the life that mattered most. And suddenly, he wasn't as afraid anymore. He decides to face death with all the courage he has. He knows he could never defeat death, but according to him, he will never stop fighting for this life. This level of fearlessness and determination makes death back off because Puss was no longer the arrogant little legend he used to be. He left, wishing Puss a life well lived. Just when everything feels resolved, Jack emerges from the bag and tries to steal the wish away. Luckily, he wasn't able to succeed as everyone ganged up on him and burnt the wish away. So much for his wish to get all the magic in the world for himself. Bye-bye, Jack. Turns out, everyone was happy with where they were in life without needing a wish. After making up, Kitty and Puss helped Perrito try to decide a name for himself. They tried suggesting a bunch of names, but nothing felt more personal to him than Perrito and wanted to stick with that. The movie ends with the trio, which was now officially called Team Friendship, as Perrito decided, rides a boat to far, far away land to find new adventures and see old friends. Phew! What an emotional ride that's been. Everyone was right. The movie is so much more than what we expected. Yes, it was the regular format for a fairy tale, but how they got to the happy ending was what made it so magical. It was more than heartwarming and brought a lot of realizations. Not just for kids, but the kids at heart as well. I definitely recommend this movie to whoever is second guessing about watching it. I was skeptical about it at first too, but the years-long wait was totally worth it. And that concludes this episode of Real Savant. We hope you enjoyed today's fairy tale story with our favorite cat criminal. Before we end, we'd like to ask our viewers the question at hand. If you had 9 lives and are now only left with 1, would you wish for the others back too? Let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, what are you waiting for? Join the Real Savant Squad and elevate your movie watching experience to new heights. With us, you'll never miss a single episode of movie recaps, reviews, and commentary so insightful it'll make you feel like you're in a film class, but way more fun. So that's a wrap on this episode. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon for another round of Real Savant, the show that proves sometimes the best part of a movie is talking about it afterwards.